Hey, good evening. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to another edition of I Could Be Wrong After Further Review. I'm Brad. That's Jason and Justin. Good to see you, fellas.
You too, man.
Uh, you guys ready to talk some week 10?
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So, as usual, let's kick it off with some takeaways from week 10. I sent mine in the group chat, so I'll go last. I'll open it up. Let's start. Let's go with let's see. Let's go with Jason first. What is your biggest takeaway or takeaways from week 10?
We still suck. No. I
Hey,
can't help it. It's unfortunate, but actually, I was kind of shocked and surprised at some of the teams that we definitely thought were going to be. Again, it's football's being football again. NFL's being the NFL again. There's a lot of parity still. Teams that we assume are going to win are just not winning, and teams that we assume are going to lose are just not losing. You know, it's
yeah,
kind of except for a few. Obviously, there's a few losers there, choice losers, but that we knew were going in, we're going to lose, and they did lose. But uh, I'd say the biggest takeaway that I had though from week would have to be watching that Colts game. I'd have to say that it
okay,
just kind of was stunning the way it turned out, and I really thought that the way it was going, we were going to see a simple, loss, but times
yeah,
change. Times have changed with the team.
yeah. I agree. I think I sent it in the group chat. Danny Dimes is officially back. But Jonathan Taylor overcame all of that with his amazing day. So yeah, I definitely agree. That was definitely a huge takeaway from week 10 is as long as Jonathan Taylor's healthy, Indianapolis is going to be in pretty much any game they play.
Absolutely.
Especially if they get home field advantage because they're playing indoors in the playoffs. So, yeah. Justin, what's your reaction
I
to Jason's takeaways? And then what are your takeaways?
Well, I'm on board with it. There's nothing there that I can argue, especially with the Colts. Like Danny Dimes, we were all talking about it. You said it in the group chat. You're like, "Yeah, man, he's officially back," and we're like, "Yep." I mean, would they have another four turnover after six the week before? Um, but then you got this stud running back, Jonathan Taylor, just dominating over 200 yards, multiple touchdowns, and I mean, just really, like you said, he was able to provide them enough to overcome all of those mistakes. You turn over the ball four times in a game, you're normally not winning. You're normally not
Yeah.
winning. It's not happening. I mean, the Falcons had what, seven, eight sacks in the
Yeah.
game? It was their second week in a row where they had six plus sacks. And so it was a wasted effort, honestly. That's how I feel about it.
I
The
agree.
other thing, one of the main things that stood out to me though in the week was the Patriots are for real and the
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills could be pretenders. I
Yeah.
know they're not really pretenders. They have a Josh
They might
Allen, they
be.
have a James Cook. But as far as Super Bowl contenders, they might be pretenders. So I want to say the Patriots, man, they played a great game against a good quality opponent and they won the game. I know that Tampa's a little bit banged up with a couple of their receivers, but it's the NFL, right? They don't make excuses
Everybody's banged
and
up.
everybody's banged up and they played a great game. Very consistent. Drake May had another big game. Keeps making case for MVP. So does Jonathan Taylor.
Eh, definitely.
So but anyways, no, they're for real. They're a legit team. And then the Ravens look to be getting on track again a little bit. Um, other otherwise, pretty much what you expect throughout the week. With our Niners, we kind of discussed how that would go. I thought that we would have to keep up with the Rams offense, and that's exactly what we tried to do almost right from the jump. We put up 26 points, but the Rams, just made a few more stops than we did on defense.
Yeah. I'll touch on that first. The Niners, they lost the game in the first quarter with the fumble by Jawan Jennings and then the turnover on downs. And they couldn't stop the Rams offense. If you take
Yeah.
away those two turnovers, they're right there in the game because the Rams, other than that right there and then maybe one other series, they really didn't do much on defense to slow down the 49ers. The 49ers were moving the ball.
No.
So a typical 49ers Rams game, like we said, it comes down to the turnovers, and the 49ers made the mistakes that they couldn't afford to make with the limited roster they have. I still am holding out hope. I think that as long as the offensive stars come back and they're healthy, I think the 49ers can hang with anybody. They're not going to be able to lean on their defense like they have in the past. They're going to have to outscore teams. George Kittle mentioned that in the press conference after the game. He's like, our formula is we got to get guys back. We got to outscore play. We got to outscore teams. We got to help our defense out and not put them behind the eight ball so much. So, yeah, I agree. That
Right.
was a big takeaway for me. Um, I want to go back to the Indianapolis game, and this is one of my biggest takeaway, and I've been saying it for all season, I think. I could be wrong, but after further review, there's some really bad coaches in charge of some really good rosters in the NFL. Case in point, the Indianapolis game.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Raheem Mostert, bruh, what are you doing, man? Like this dude refuses to keep Bijan Robinson on the field after they cross midfield. And when he does, I don't know if you guys have noticed or anybody else has noticed, but when he does, those holes and those running plays that they call for Tyler Algier are not the same as what they're calling for Bijan. Algier's running through wide open lanes that you could drive a car through. And Bijan, they're like, hey, you better make some people miss, buddy. You better make some guys miss to get your yards. I just see them calling it differently. I know they're two different styles, but still, if you can open up those massive holes for Algier, why can't you call those plays and open up those massive holes for Bijan? Um, so Raheem Morris is number one, and then he made some questionable play calls or questionable time management decisions at the end of the first half that probably cost them the game because they ended up going to overtime and they lost. So Raheem Morris, he needs to find a new job. Matt LaFleur, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's pretty bad when Green Bay fans start comparing you to Mike McCarthy. You hit rock bottom when Green Bay fans start comparing you. It's not people outside of Green Bay. It's Green Bay fans saying, "Hey, this guy's worse than Mike McCarthy." That means you're way too
For real.
predictable. That means you are way too predictable. But um, despite all that, he did say today he was going to keep the play calling duties to himself, and he needs to look, quote, within himself to get better. So whatever that means. Good luck, buddy.
You better
And
look
then
real deep.
the other guy, Kevin O'Connell. Dude, you just keep putting JJ McCarthy in bad situations. You're asking him to do too much. You're not leaning on the running game. You got some solid running backs. If you don't want to make one the lead back, fine. Running back by committee. You got some solid running backs. You don't lean on the running game enough. He makes poor decisions in key situational moments. He let Sam Darnold walk out the door. I know that that's mainly on the GM, but it's on the coach too, because I'm sure they took his input. And I think personally, he gets too much credit for Sam Darnold's resurrection. Kyle Shanahan fixed him before he even got to Minnesota, in my opinion. So that was my biggest takeaway: is there's some bad coaches in the NFL. So what do you guys think?
I happen to agree with you. I mean, especially in situational football this year, you've seen some bad choices. I mean, I know the Jets are a bad team, but you remember a couple weeks ago where they they should have called timeout multiple times right before halftime in a game. They had a chance to put points on the board. Fields was looking at the sideline,
Yep.
all like, "What's going on here?" It's like these guys are NFL coaches. So, and I know you're talking about um, bad coaches on good teams, right? But I think it just
But
overall across the league,
yeah,
you're seeing a lot of that bad coaching.
yeah. And and what you mentioned is exactly what I'm talking about with Raheem Morris. He did the same exact thing at the end of the first
Yeah,
half of the game. And it seems like, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like in those overseas games, it happens more often. Like, I don't know if they're like the jet lag got to him or something, but it seems like in every overseas game this year, we've seen some type of questionable time management at the end of the first half where you're like, what is this guy doing? What's going on? It could just be me though.
right.
I could be wrong. So, well, let's speaking of coaches. I'm gonna start. Let's start with Justin on this one. I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did the Giants do Brian Daboll dirty, or did he deserve to be shown the door?
Well, it's the NFL, you know, it's a what have you done for me now lately league.
Yep.
Um, it's a like, you got a franchise quarterback make smart decisions league, right? Now, I think there was some questionable decision making. Um, I mentioned several episodes ago when we put our coaches on the hot seat. I put Daboll as a candidate. I think both of you guys raised an eyebrow, which I understand because there were definitely other coaching candidates that could be fired before him. Um, but yeah, I don't think they did him dirty, to answer your question. Um, I think you could see it coming, you know, and fresh start. There's a lot of excitement around there. Get a fresh start, new coach. Who are they going to get? I don't know. I know people are throwing out Belichick's name, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Belichick is the coach you bring in to coach these young guys and get them excited, But who knows? The show is I could be wrong, right? So,
All right.
um,
Okay.
so no, I don't think they did him dirty. I think that we've seen what he can do as a coach so far. I'm not saying he's reached his peak as a coach. He's had his ups, his downs. Maybe he goes back to an OC position, which he excelled at a
Yep.
few years, gets back in the coaching carousel. You know, who knows? Maybe he could go OC in Atlanta. They got a
Maybe,
good offense over there.
maybe Raheem Morris needs an OC, that's for sure. Jay, what do you think?
I don't think they did him dirty at all. I think we've seen what his decision making leads to. I think even with a healthy roster, his decision making wasn't going to put him over the top. So I think they kind of analyzed that and looked at the situation and said, you know what, we need a new face in here. We probably got the guy that we'd love to have in here. Let's see if he's available, Lane Kiffin. But again, I could be wrong. But him and Jackson Dart got a pretty good relationship. But the we'll see if he goes back to the NFL. But at the end of the day, I think they've seen what they thought would be the best of Daboll at one point with the majority of the roster, and then they've seen the depleted roster and seen the same decision making. Things didn't change, so I don't feel like they saw a change coming, so they went ahead and made a change themselves.
I could
Yeah.
also say one other thing too that probably led to this. It's New York big market, right?
Yeah.
It's a big fan base, so there's higher expectations in the big city, or the Big Apple, whatever they called it, you know. Um, and so that's probably had something to do with it as well, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more pressure, I think, from fans, media, everybody. Because like you said, it's a big market. There's more money involved, right? The more you win, the more money you're gonna make. So yeah, I don't think that they did them dirty. I was surprised that they did it now. I figured they'd let them finish the season at least. Why? But at the same time, maybe they wanted to get a head start and they wanted to let everyone know, hey, we're hiring. I think really no matter how young your team is, when you blow two double-digit second half leads in 3 weeks' time, um, somebody's got to pay the price eventually. and it's the head coach in this case, of course. It's not going to be any of the players because they're making the majority of the money. They're all young. Um, as far as replacements, I disagree with you. I think Bill Belichick is already looking for a house in New York. I think that his publicist slash girlfriend, that is the dream market for her to expand her brand and his brand. So I think they, and then you got to think about it this as well. He's coaching some young guys right now. Once they get to the NFL, I think that you can't the it's not like the NBA. You're not coaching 18, 19-year-old dudes. You're coaching, they're a little more mature, in my opinion.
You're
It's
right.
just a different dynamic. So I think that he can come back. I think that he would love to come back and break the record in New York. I mean, you got to think about that as well. Like you said, big market. Where better to break the record than with the Giants, the team that you started with as a D coordinator. So, and they got some talent there. If he brings in the right, so that was the thing about Belichick before he made that weird decision with Matt Patricia. He always had the right coaches underneath him, right? And we could see, look at what Josh McDaniels is doing with New England. You mentioned it. They're back. They got a former player who was a hell of a coach, and then they got that old OC who's always been there, right? And that's probably the biggest reason that they're back. So, um,
I
I
heard
think
Antonio Pierce already sent his application.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but I definitely think that Belichick's going to be considered, and with the way things are going in
He'll
UNC,
probably be
they're
considered for sure.
they're going a little better now than what they were a month or so ago. But I think maybe he's looking for an exit. So we'll see. I could be wrong, like you said. All right. Um,
Anyways, it's early in college for him. I mean, he hasn't even had the chance to do a, whole recruiting cycle where you get the players in multiple years,
yeah,
and build his roster. So I don't know.
we'll see.
Rumor has it though they were already looking for a buyout early in the season.
Yeah, it was like
So
like a month in, it was already rumors flying that they were looking to buy him
Yeah,
out.
they probably
So.
don't like the noise around his girl.
I, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, her down on the field and shit in the middle of the games and shit like that. So, I've never seen that before. It's just weird to me. Uh,
Yeah.
it- all right. So let's talk about the balance of power. So I think coming into the season, maybe you guys disagree, but I think coming into the season, if you would have asked which conference is more stacked, quote unquote, or so to speak, I think we all would have probably said the AFC probably was a little more loaded looking at it coming in when you consider the teams that finished at the top last year and the expectations of those teams coming in. Obviously, it hasn't panned out that way as the season's gone along. So, we'll start with Jason on this one. Are you surprised by the balance of power this year with the NFC seemingly being more stacked than the AFC?
I'm shocked. I honestly thought the AFC West was the most stacked, division in all of football, besides the Raiders, of course. But I really thought the AFC West would be on top of the AFC in general, and they were just the AFC itself was just stacked with talent. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of talent in the AFC, but man, the NFC West that is shocking. That turned out to be to me the most stacked division there is in the league, and it's a big surprise for myself.
All right. Yeah. The NFC North's pretty damn tough, it looks like, but you know.
Yeah, good.
Uh, don't get me wrong, the NFC West, I mean, those top three teams are some damn good teams, especially if the Niners are semi-healthy. But the NFC North, I think all of them have a winning record, or all of them are at least 500, right? Pretty
True.
solid. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, again, I think it's a little surprising. All right, Justin, what do you think?
Well, I think the word seemingly is just what it is. It only seems that way. If you look in the top 10, five AFC, five NFC, right? You go to expand that to the top 15, it's 7-8, you know, one versus the other. And when I watch the teams, I mean, you got the Patriots, they just beat the Bucks. You got teams like the Ravens who are getting better in the AFC. Um, the Eagles and Packers, they're both sitting at the top of the NFC powers, right? But, it's like, who wants to be the alpha? I know the Eagles
Like
are
a
a better team.
Packers are
So
like seventh right now. See, that's what I'm saying though, is the top of the NFC is so bunched together. It seems like, let me put it this way. I guess I should have worded it this way. Does it feel like there are more teams in the NFC that are legitimate Super Bowl teams that could win the Super Bowl than it does in the AFC? That's what it feels like to me. There's more teams in the NFC that you can look at and say they have a chance to win the Super Bowl as compared to the AFC, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I really
Oh,
think it's
okay.
split. That's how I feel. I think it's split. I think there's that much parity in the NFL this year, and there's no one team that stands out to me that is better than any other team. I really think it's a
Okay.
wide open field on both
Yeah.
sides.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I feel like I'm surprised more so by the teams that aren't at the top of the AFC. Um, so I guess that's probably why it feels like the NFC's got more of the power right now is because the teams that we thought were going to be at the top of the AFC, like where's Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City? They're all, chasing somebody else in their division right now. So definitely not what we expected. It'll probably even out even more as the season goes along. But just to me, it feels like there's more like if I think about Super Bowl contenders in the AFC, I could probably say three for sure. Kansas City, maybe four. All right, let's say four. Kansas City, New England, Indianapolis, and Baltimore if they keep playing the way they're playing. I think those are the four teams that have a legitimate chance. If the Chargers had a healthy running game, I would throw them in there, but I don't trust their running game. In the NFC, it's like Philly has Philly. They look good. Rams, Seattle, right? Detroit, Tampa. There's a lot of teams I think that I just feel like there's more in the NFC that have a chance that you can make a case for. That's all. But I could
I
be
feel like if
wrong.
you put the NFC's best team, right now, if you took the NFC's best team and the AFC's best team and called the Super Bowl today, I think the NFC would win.
I'm not going to say who that is because I'm going to curse them. That's the other thing I took away from week 10. The I could be wrong curse is fucking real. Because every week we pick a team that's we say is the best team, and every week they shit the bed. That's all I could say. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. Absolutely. I don't want to say any names either.
All I know is, hey, man, I'm not saying
I'll
anything
say
bad
it.
about the Cardinals.
Patriots and Eagles. Patriots and Eagles right now, two best teams, and I would take the Patriots
I don't
over
think the Eagles are
the
better than the
Eagles.
Rams.
This is
I don't think
true.
the Eagles are better than the
Okay,
Rams or
I stand
Seattle.
corrected there because the Rams have a good defense and a good offense, and they've been consistent. Eagles are up and down. This last game showed a lot. Um, so I would say actually Rams. So you corrected me there,
Yeah.
but I would still stick with the Patriots, and I still take the Patriots.
Okay.
I feel like the Seahawks are still a sleeper, though. They're a sleeper.
Oh,
Don't
They
sleep
are.
on them because they
the
prove they can not just throw the ball, they can run the ball too. 46
the
rushes, 46 attempts.
the only
Bro, that's
difference,
like would be Brad's
yeah,
worst nightmare is watching a USC quarterback in the Super Bowl win.
dude, it'd be terrible. Um, Here's the thing. Right now, in my opinion, the only difference when you look at LA and Seattle is we haven't seen it from Sam Darnold in the playoffs.
That's it.
Right? We saw the last two games last year, and that's what everybody's going off of. And that's what I'm basing my feeling. I think Seattle's like unstoppable right now. Especially on Sunday, like the Cardinals had no business on the field with them, none whatsoever. The game was over like 6 minutes into it. It was 21 nothing. But I think that's, like I said, the only difference right now, I think that have people feeling one way about LA as opposed to Seattle is they just haven't seen Sam Darnold do it in the playoffs. And if he goes out and looks like he did in those last two games last year, everybody's going to be like, "Oh, well, that's just what he is." But if he goes out and balls out in the playoffs and wins a game or two, I don't see any reason why anyone wouldn't favor them in the NFC Championship game. So, big game on Sunday that they play on Sunday, Rams in Seattle.
I know
First,
it'll be a
first
good
of
one.
I believe it's the first of two matchups this year. So I don't think they played already yet. So should be fun.
Book it now. JSN 200 plus yards receiving.
Ooh.
Calling it. I'm calling it.
I hope we see a ton of points. So, all
My
right, I
money's on
want to.
another defensive touch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna wrap it up with one other takeaway that I have from week 10. This has been building and I've been wanting to say it, but I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be a conspiracy theorist. I think that the NFL referees are intentionally missing calls on the tush push to get it banned. There's no way, bro, that they are missing these obvious fucking offsides and false start penalties that the most casual fan that's fucking 11 years old that lives in my house can see, and these referees are missing them. There's no way. Some- Something in the soup ain't soup is all I'm saying. Something wrong with
That's all
that
he's
picture.
saying.
It ain't hanging on the wall right. NFL referees need to be fucking investigated. I'm all for it. They need to get rid of the tush push, but I think the referees are in on it. That's all I'm saying. That's all
That's
I'm
all
saying.
he's saying.
What do you
I
guys
don't
think?
know. I like it though. I like a good old conspiracy theory.
Let's start one. Fuck
Dude,
it. Referees are
there it
trying to get
is.
it. The referees trying to get the banned. All right,
Tush
that's
push
all I
gate.
got. Pushgate. Ooh, Tushgate.
Tushy gate.
Tushgate.
Sounds like the
Classic.
title. Sounds like a title to a adult movie. Anyways,
Clip it and post it, baby. Clip it and post
there
it.
you go.
Tush
Clip it and
gate.
post
Funny
it.
that is it
Tushgate.
funny that the brotherly shove happens in Philadelphia?
Ooh, very true. That's kind of gross. Ah!
Jason about to get punched by his girl.
He gonna go flying off the screen in a second. Ah! Oh, that's funny. Hey, this is one of the shirt designs that I put.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna order one for
This is from our
myself.
proud sponsors at I Could Be Wrong Shop.
That's right. Goal to go. All right,
Goal to
guys.
go,
That's
baby.
all. That's all I got for our week 10. After further review, do you guys have anything else?
No,
Nada.
not on that.
Perfect. All right. In that case, then I will get us out of here. So, we appreciate you guys watching or listening. However you consume the content, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop us a comment, download, take us on the go, and don't forget,
Can
division is.
can I skirt you real quick? Can I reverse you real
Uh,
quick?
absolutely. Go ahead.
Can we get that TNF talk?
Oh, my bad. I apologize. I apologize. We do have one last topic.
Come on, folks. Brad's trying to jip you out of our content, man.
My bad.
Come
Okay.
on.
I apologize.
Clip it and post it, baby.
Here we go. We do have one last topic, and I will start with Justin. I'm sure this is going to be a super in-depth topic. Do the do the Jets stand a chance tomorrow night against the Patriots?
I was dying to say this. No.
All right. Uh, I'm so
I mean, it's
glad
the
that you were.
NFL, but no, they don't really. I mean,
I'm so glad you
th
reminded me of this segment because it literally is not on my paper. I deleted. I did.
it's a
That's how much.
forgettable game.
That's how much I was thinking about it. All right, so that's one no. Let's see if we can jinx the fucking Patriots. Jason,
Here you
to the
go, Jets.
Jets,
Well, since I
to
got
the
since I got 10 on the Jets and under, because that wins $100, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Patriots are gonna win.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. All right, let's do it. All right. Hey, hey, Mike Rabel. I'm sorry,
you're
man.
done.
You guys are
You're
toast.
done.
I'm picking the Patriots. Jets got no shot.
Damn. It's a wrap.
Kiss of death, motherfucker. All right. Listen, if the
Jets fans are gonna love us after this.
if the Jets do end up winning this game, I swear to goodness, from now on, anytime we all pick the same team, I'm going to bet the opposite for sure. Because we are bad luck. All right. Anything else, guys? You know what? Now
That's
I am
it.
glad you brought us back to this
Oh,
topic. All right, awesome. All right, so again, with that being said, we appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget that division is a math problem. It should never be a people problem. And please be kind. It is free, even if you are talking to Cowboys fans. Peace.